Alright, I gotta finally explain opportunism theory to everyone. Generally speaking, there are three different theories at play. The most popular are terrain theory and germ theory. They came about a long time ago between Antoine Béchamp and Louis Pasteur. The prevailing entity, though, is Louis Pasteur and germ theory. Terrain theory started to get taken over because it wasn't great for marketing or sales, so some powerful people ended up bringing on Louis Pasteur's ideas. So all the microbes are consistently trying to kill us, kind of an idea. And then terrain theory was that the microbes are trying to all help us in some sense, that they're just there within a cohabitating ecosystem within our body, and that we have a terrain within us. And it can get upset at times, and then there's toxicity that occurs in decaying tissue, and then people can consume it. Not people, I meant microbes. But yeah, the germ theory, on the other hand, though, believes that while there are beneficial bacteria, a lot of them can stand to try to kill us, as well as viruses. And viruses are not alive, though. They're this non-living kind of agent of supposed destruction. So opportunism theory stands in between the two. It says both are incorrect and correct. Opportunism theory, widely, I created in 2019 to articulate and make everything a lot more clear and make everything seem more like common sense. Because to me, theories in the scientific realm should not prevail unless they pass that common sense check, where you're looking at the rest of the world and connecting it to everything, and everything makes sense because it's all connected. And so if a scientific theory doesn't connect with the rest of the world, it just doesn't stand up. So opportunism theory takes in the notion that our world's ecosystem, Earth, on Earth, has a bunch of living entities on it. Animals, bugs, insects, same thing, microbes, amphibians, etc. So let's say, for instance, bears are opportunistically going to go and find food every day, just as wolves would, bugs would, everything will. Literally, opportunism runs the entire planet. And so all these animals are just trying to survive, and at sometimes they will end up going to an excess. Like, say, for instance, there's no food in their current area. They might branch out. They might try to kill something they normally wouldn't to eat. For instance, when squirrels eat animals and they do carnivorous activities, animals will do what they can to survive if there's scarcity. And this is a point of opportunism. And if there are weaknesses within the terrain, they can definitely capitalize on it. And so that's what opportunism theory is within us, is that we have an inner terrain where it can get upset and disrupted and weakened. Would be our immune system. It can shut down temporarily, and then the microbes can take over to it. And when the microbes take over, we end up losing areas of our bodies or control of such to the microbes. And we have all kinds of microbes in our system that aren't just bacteria or viruses. There's fungi and parasites. They're actually way more common than people think. And some parasites will even give us morphine. It's crazy. And some, like T. gondii, is capable of manipulating host behaviors. It's well known. In humans, though, it's still being studied, but it makes you wonder, like, how much of the kind of chemical control we have over our bodies and what's being manipulated versus what is actually us. Because over my journey, I had to clear out a bunch of fungus in my gut. I was literally every day about to kill myself. I even have semicolon tattoos. I was just really bad off. And I had no idea that just busting up some fungus in my gut was going to cure everything. Like, the clinical depression gone, chronic anxiety gone. It's crazy. So maybe I'm biased in the sense of understanding opportunism theory and the germ theory principles behind it. But I do also recognize terrain theory and how important it is. I think it's important to have a robust immune system, because in germ theory land, it's thought that medical stuff will save us. It'll make us better. So opportunism theory postulates that our terrain gives us robust immunity to be able to fight off the microbes. But a lot of terrain theorists believe that the microbes are in no way affected by a set immune system, and a lot of them think the immune system doesn't exist. And that's not something opportunism theory believes. It believes that our bodies are always trying to keep the microbes in check, and as soon as we become weak, they take over in some sense. It's not, but it's not that they're trying to kill us. So they're not a pathogen. They're an opportunist. They're just trying to opportunistically get extra resources. They're not trying to kill the host. They're trying to keep it alive. They want us alive. They don't want to kill us. They just want extras. And so, under opportunism theory as well, viruses do not cause disease. They're not living, so they can't be opportunistic. They're a part of a greater system, and if they're part of a greater system, they're just this machinery. And so I speculate, and I'm not 100% certain of this, but there's a lot of research to back it, is that viruses may be causing these symptoms because they're going inside the cells to clean it up. Exosome theory, made by another man, I think his last name is Kaufman, but hypothesized that exosomes dissolve toxic matter in the cell. However, I take that a step further. I don't believe it's just like that. I believe that they're not only doing that with toxic cellular material or things that are building up in the cell, I also believe that microbes are being removed from the cell by the viruses. So there's some fungi and parasites that are very good at taking control of cellular machinery, and viruses would be very good at taking back control of it. And a big reason why I believe this is because these intracellular viruses are all seen as pathogenic, but then extracellular viruses, meaning outside of the cell, are seen as good. They're called phages, bacteriophages. It's really fascinating. Like, what? Why is it that the phages help us, but the ones that go inside the cell are bad? That makes no sense. And you look at the nature of a phage, it goes and kills a bunch of bacteria by doing pretty much a similar thing it does with cells. But the thing is, there's further research showing us that it's going after, these phages can actually go after fungi and parasites potentially. And it makes me think that maybe the extracellular phages have a very similar role to, or the intracellular viruses have a similar role to the phages. That maybe they're actually a part of our immune system. And maybe we're supposed to spread them around so the herd can benefit from the immunity. Just a thought. So that's opportunism theory in a nutshell, as well as explaining a little bit of germ theory and terrain theory. I hope that makes sense. And if you like my content, my name is Asa Santiago. This is my company, Polarity Health. Just follow along. I'll make more videos about this stuff. So.